In the heart of a peaceful forest, far from the noise of the world, there lived an old monk in a quiet ashram. He spoke rarely, but when he did, the world listened. His eyes held centuries of wisdom, and his silence spoke louder than words. People came from far and wide, not to hear him, but to feel the power of his presence. One day a young student asked, "Master, why do you speak so little?" The monk smiled gently. Because silence listens, and listening brings clarity. He took them to a flowing river. The river flows, not by shouting, but by surrender. The student looked puzzled. The monk only said, "Be still, and the answer will find you." One afternoon, a man came crying to the monk, "I lost everything, my family, my job, my respect." The monk offered him water, then remained silent. The man shouted in frustration, "Say something." The monk calmly replied, "Pain needs silence, not solutions. Sit, breathe. Let your soul speak first." The man wept, but left with peace in his heart. A young man full of pride came to challenge the monk. "What can your silence teach me? I know business, technology, success." The monk nodded and handed him a bowl. "Fill it with water until it's full," he said. The young man did. Then the monk dropped a single stone into it, and water spilled out. "Your mind is like this bowl, too full. Until you empty it, no wisdom can stay." The boy said nothing, for the first time in years. That night the students gathered and asked, "Master, were you always like this?" The monk looked at the stars and said softly, "I once shouted louder than anyone. I was a king, I had power, but power gave me enemies, and silence gave me peace." He touched his heart and whispered, "Real power is mastering yourself." One day the government wanted to build a road through the ashram. Officers came with papers. The villagers begged the monk to fight, but the monk simply sat in meditation. Days passed. Suddenly, one officer's sick child recovered after visiting the ashram. The officer tore the papers and bowed to the monk. "Silence," the monk said, "is the most powerful voice." Years passed. The monk grew older, but his light never faded. On his final day, he gathered his students. "One last lesson," he said. "Speak less, feel more, react less, understand more, expect less, love more, and in silence, you will find everything." And then, he closed his eyes, forever smiling. The world teaches us to speak louder, to fight harder, to prove more. But the monk taught something rare. That silence is not weakness, it is strength. In silence we hear ourselves. In silence we heal. And when we understand ourselves, we need very little from the world. So be silent, not because you have nothing to say, but because you are strong enough to say nothing. Be silent, and you will get everything. If this story touched your heart, share it with someone who needs peace. Leave a comment with one word. Peace, and remember, be silent. Be strong. Be everything. Thank you for watching.